They've slowed down.
Should we start? All right, all rise. The Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a moment of silence. Roll call of officers. Gaffney, Mr. Gaffney.
Present.
Bill. Present. And could you, Mike, is it?
Yep, Mike Peasley, present.
Okay.
John McDonald, present.
Norm Jagir, present. And Eric is not. Okay. We don't have the minutes for approval, so we'll go with
Old business.
old business. What do we have? Do you know what was going on with the old business?
Yeah, we had the flag retirement box, and I know you had an update last month. I just wonder if there's any further update as to a closer date or any new information on that.
As far as, I have the same information I had last month. It's
Okay,
still
so no
in process.
updates?
No updates.
Okay, what about the parking spots? Was a communication between the school department and your office?
We spoke to the school department, and they have agreed to make the sign, and he would get back to me once the sign has been made.
So they're making a sign? What do you mean, or they're approving a sign?
They've approved it.
They've approved it.
And they are making it.
So they're having it made?
They are having it made, correct.
Okay, and how many signs are we gonna start with?
We were starting at the Lowell High, one sign at the Lowell High, and we're gonna go from there.
Okay, so that's good news. Our U.S. veteran parking spot at our schools is on its way, and yet another good initiative, I think, by this commission to recognize our veterans in our community. So when we have that, can we know when it's going to go up, and maybe we could do, assuming the weather's okay, maybe we could do a little ceremony or something, or at least...
We could wait till the spring.
Yeah, just a simple fact that it's there, and I think that would be something that the Lowell Sun would probably want to take a look at and at least publicize, because I know Drake has taken a lot of our ideas and ran with them, which is a good thing. Which is the reason why we did the Veterans ID card and the veteran business recognition, and now this, and I'm hoping other communities that see this also see the fact that we did a combat veterans only parking space the front of City Hall. I'm hoping that other communities tap into that as well. So that's good. We're leading by example, and hopefully other school departments in the district will do the same. That's all I had for old business. If anyone else had any
Just
old business.
one more, as far as old business goes. I know, Eric, you had given me some signs for the people, the local businesses that want to volunteer for giving veterans a discount. I have one other person. Her name is, I believe it's called Diane's Beauty Salon over here on Gorham Street. She's on board. She already said that numerous veterans are going there now, so that's helping her business.
Good.
I have two more that I'm going to be hopefully get them done before Christmas, but I doubt that.
Quick question, I might have misspoken. Old business involved nominations for the September, October, November, December Veterans of the Month, submitting names. We want to do that under old business or new business?
We could do it.
Doesn't matter?
Yeah, it really doesn't
Matter to
matter.
anybody? Well, I was,
Before you leave the old business, I do have one item.
yep, sure.
There you
Go ahead. You can
Okay.
do it, and I'll get into this.
All right, and to the chair, in the past, a couple of months ago, I was present, we talked about initiatives to inquire with the IT department for the city to see if we could get a better internet presence and get our information out there from the commission. I think we spoke at that time that it was difficult for veterans at large to get information on what's going on in the commission, what's going on with veterans in the city, and I was just wondering if we got a response back from the city on that.
Eric, did you get any response from the city on that?
The actual website is not managed by the city. I did not get a response to answer a short answer, but the website is based by each department, so I'm not sure who would fall under the commission. Would it be the mayor's office or the manager's office? I mean,
Probably city manager's
I did
office.
reach out, and I have not received a response yet to the MIS department, but, I mean, I can follow up on that.
That would be great, because I think it's obviously important. I mean, the whole purpose of this is to make sure the veterans know about it, so.
I think it could just be as simple as just having the agendas and the minutes out there to get started, nothing really elaborate.
I agree.
Be a consideration, that's all.
Yep, I agree.
Just one follow-up on Mike's issue. I've been thinking about the website or another little more detailed presentation. I looked at some of the other city websites and looked, for example, at the Planning Board, Council for the Aging, Historic Board, of course, and a lot of them have kind of a standard website where on the left-hand side it'll have the names of the people involved. Then underneath it, it'll have a tab for events. And so I'm just wondering, number one, is that a precedent that we could use for doing something ourselves? And, and number two, is it something that we want to do?
I think the more information that we can get out there, our objective with this commission was to help veterans. There have been a lot of meetings where we've had a few veterans here, and it's to inform our veteran community of what's going on. And there are other commissions that have been around a lot longer, probably have a more dynamic presence, but it's something we definitely need. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about it for a long time, and it needs to be done. So we need to have some sort of resolution and answer, yes or no. Sooner than later would be good, but I know only so much you can do, Eric, but if you can press the issue, it would be great.
On that, I could possibly make a section on the veterans website, but it would be completely different. It wouldn't be just for the Veterans Commission. But with that being said, I mean, I didn't see the agenda until I walked in today, so I couldn't post it.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to post it unless I was actually given it in enough time.
Right. Well, I mean, in years past, when Celine was doing it, we had a much more succinct process, and maybe we just meet with James and see if we
Develop
his schedule and develop a schedule with him to make sure that all these things are kind of in line and more organized.
Sure.
So we can, do what we need to do. Before we leave old business, I was asked last meeting to, as the temporary vice chair to, as the job of the vice chair is to submit names and to go around and ask people for names of Veterans of the Month, and I did do that. And I came up with 4 names that I'd like to submit for consideration, we could vote upon for the September, October, November, December Veterans of the Month. A lot of names here I think people are familiar with, and I think that all of these people have, in their own way, not only from Lowell, but they've contributed to the community as part of the Walter F. Bayless Jr. Veteran of the Month Award. So the first one is a gentleman who served, who's been in the community served his country, done a lot of stuff with the Greek American Legion, has been very involved with veterans activities through the city, Greater Lowell Veterans Council, and has been around for years. His name was submitted by Rita Mercia, Councilor Rita Mercia. Harold, his nickname Sonny Moscovitis, and he was the name I'm submitting for the September Veteran of the Month.
John,
Yes.
is September the right month?
I thought we had September, October, November, December, the last 4 months of the year. Because we're doing it fours, right? 4 times 3 is 12.
We're in January.
Or in December.
January, February, March, April.
We did January, February, March, April. Then May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 4.
So we're gonna go a year out?
We're only doing 4. We're doing in 4 different ones. We just recognized the August,
All right.
okay? So we started last year in January, am I correct?
Okay.
All right, so,
Right, the last one we
right,
submitted
so
was
we
Joe Machado.
do 4 months,
Okay.
right? So, well, anyway, I'm going to submit 4 names. I believe they're September, October, November, December, so. So the first one is Harold Moscovitis, so that's the name I've submitted. I'll make a motion for Harold.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Ayes.
Any opposed? Hearing none.
Ayes carry.
Congratulations, Harold. So he will be our September nominee. For October, a name that I asked around, people thought was from a couple people. George Zaharoulis served for, I believe, 7 years in the service, and also is a well-recognized name in the community, does a lot of community service. I think he's volunteered at almost everybody served the city in many capacities. He's worked at UMass Lowell, his profession. He very involved in his church, and
Yeah, he
the
does.
guy's just everywhere.
Yeah, he's
So George Zaharoulis is the name they submit for the October Veteran of the Month.
Was he on, has he served on some of the city boards or commissions?
Yeah, he was on the
Yes.
zoning board.
Zoning board,
a
and he
number of years.
also, he does an awful lot.
Yep.
Every time we've done anything, he's always there.
Greater Lowell Veterans Council as well. He's pretty, at least he used to be a pretty active member. I haven't been in a long time, but George is just, he's part of Lowell and has done an awful lot. So that's the name I submit. If I could get a second on that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes
Any
carry.
opposed? Hearing none?
Carry.
There you go. November. The name that came up was, he's a former police chief for the town of Dracut. I know he served on many veterans activities, still on, he's on the Veterans Assisting Veterans Board, and another gentleman that's well-known from the city of Lowell, and Kevin Richardson. Kevin Richardson for the
Is he
month
here?
of November.
Just before we go on, is he a resident of Lowell?
Yes, he is. He lives in Lowell.
okay.
Yep. Yep. He does live in Lowell. So I won't say publicly where, though, so. You know.
No.
Yeah, it does. It does. So we narrowed down the circle.
Right.
So anyway, Kevin, very, I mean, what can you say about a guy that serves his community and puts his life on the line, and is a veteran's veteran. So that is the name I'm submitting. If I could get a second for the month of November, Kevin Richardson. Second.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes carry.
Opposed? No. So moved. The last person I want to submit tonight, fourth name, that should round us out for the year, is a gentleman that's probably well-known in the community. He's a former city councilor. He served in the Air Force from 1966 to 1969. And then he served in the active reserves as a JAG in the Air Force from 1973 to 1990. Again, he served in the city council for 4 years, and he's somebody that's pretty active in the community, and people know him. Again, I think would be a good person for this award. His name is George Anthus. So George is the name I'm submitting for the month of December. If I could get a second on that name.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, so moved.
Ayes, carry.
So, month of September, Harold Moscovitis. October, George Zaharoulis. I'm saying this for your sake, Eric, because I know you're writing down feverishly right notes. Kevin Richardson, month of November, and George Anthus for the month of December. So I think these are all names we can proudly submit and move forward. And again, I encourage anyone who's watching, any veterans groups that are out there that are interested in submitting a name for consideration, please contact me. Contact Eric's office, and we'll be more than happy to consider them. But I think this is a good, solid group for us and people that we can be proud to recognize here in City Council chambers. That's all I have on that.
You know, anybody have anything else on old business? Well, go on to new business. Jay, you want to?
Yeah, I'll stay with the, well, since we're on the subject of the Veteran of the Month, I'll stay with that. That was the question, is whether we should reach out more publicly to try and obtain nominations. I put together a list, and I really have kind of three groups. One is organizations in the city that are sort of civic umbrella organizations, such as the Chamber of Commerce that represents a lot of member organizations. The Heritage Partnership is the same thing. It has a number of preservation-related organizations. And I also listed the Senior Center, and I was thinking that I may have omitted some organizations, but I just can't think of them right now. The second group was Publications Media. I talked to the Lowell Cable TV Bulletin Board, and they'd be happy to run something on the Veterans
Right.
of the Month for us.
That'd be wonderful.
That would be really good.
And the second one was the Lowell Community Foundation has a monthly newsletter, and I think they might, I spoke to them about an event that I wanted to put in before. They were very cooperative. I haven't spoken to them about this, but I think it might be worth asking them.
I agree. I think that would be great because, it'd save a little legwork too.
You know, even reaching out to schools. You have a lot of veterans that are in the school teachers, and there's a lot of veterans in a school district, even colleges or whatnot. There are quite a few. So
The third
that'd
group,
be
which I
another
think
avenue.
probably is incomplete, but I did put some names down. I categorized it as social, political, professional. I've got the Lowell Bar Association, the East End Club, the Elks, the golf clubs, Rotaries, Republican City Committee, Democratic City Committee. And I was wondering, number one, whether we want to do this in a general way, whether we want to do this. Number two, if people had suggestions to add or delete names. And number three is whether we should send it out in one big blast or whether we should maybe phase it. And I'm sort of inclined to phase it, maybe doing category 1 and 2 first and see if there's a response, and then go on to the others if the commission just wanted to do it.
I'm either way, I'm fine, because I think that even if we did it all at once, if we could funnel it through Eric's office and just as a point where people could submit a name or whatever, or even if we did Jay, if you want to do a broadcast email to all these organizations, say, will you post this information? We're encouraging you to submit names, and here's the criteria. We're looking for nominations because it's and again, people don't have to necessarily, they could have passed like we did last month with Don McPhail.
Sure.
They don't necessarily have to be with us. They just have to have had, served their country and contributed to their community in a positive way. And that's the criteria, and we want to recognize these people because they deserve it. So, yeah, I would, if you want to send out something to all these different organizations, I personally wouldn't have any problem. And I'll make a motion that Jay does it, make it easier, get everybody's input. So I make a motion that Jay send out the awareness of the Veteran of the Month, asking for nominations, displaying the criteria, and making the primary contact Eric's office, not necessarily Eric, but is that okay, Eric?
Yes, sir.
All right, who would somebody contact at your office?
Me.
Contact Eric Lamache, the greatest VSO in the history of the state of Massachusetts.
All right, I've got Lowell Veterans Service, Eric Lamarche, Director, 978-674-4066, 276 Broadway, second floor, Lowell, Mass.
Yes, sir.
And should I put your email down too?
Sure. It's E, my last name Lamarche,
Okay.
at lowellma.gov.
So I'll make that motion. If I could get a second.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Michael Peasley. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Jay, do you oppose this?
No, it's going to be, just
So
by
moved.
just because of the nature of the task, it's going to be phased anyway, because it's going to take me a while to get them all out, and I'll put them out, I'll get them out in the priority of the groups that I listed, but, so it's probably going to be a while before I start sending
Fine.
them
That's
out to the
fine.
bottom
As
group
long as it's
anyway.
getting done, I think it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Will that document be available to the other commissioners so
Yeah,
that
could
we
you
could share
CC
it
us
as well?
to let us know what's going on? Just carbon copy us on the email, the commission?
Sure, I will do that. One question I had, and I think you've kind of answered it, I think the email makes sense. The other option would be to send each group a formal letter, but I think the email is
No,
probably.
Email's the way people want it these days, I think, don't we agree?
Read my emails.
All right, so next item of business would be the Butler School Choir recognition. Jay?
For the first time, this year, I attended the Butler School Day of Remembrance, Veterans Day event. It was very impressive. They had the choir, and it's an excellent choir. In fact, the current director said it was recognized as one of the best middle school choirs in the country. And having heard them perform, I don't doubt it. There's a little history there. There was a woman named Patricia Jusson.
Yes, she's unbelievable.
She I think she started and developed the choir, and she has at least temporarily retired from it. It's been taken over by a gentleman, by Liam Hart, who seems pretty enthusiastic about it as well. And so I was just thinking of some kind of a resolution. In addition to the Veterans Day Day of Remembrance, they have appeared at the last two Pearl Harbor Day events and performed there. And so I thought maybe a resolution recognizing them would be appropriate. I did speak to the school principal. She agreed that it would be appropriate. So I think, so I have a resolution drafted which I set out, but I'd like to have it in some kind of a form where it could be framed or given out to at least the named recipients. And then I thought the resolution copies should be forwarded maybe to the school committee, the superintendent of schools, and I'd be open to suggestion on anybody else who should, maybe the mayor as chairman of the school committee, and anybody else thought should be included. And I thought the resolution be signed by the chairman. And
Yeah, I think that'd be,
When you sign it, you gotta do this. Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a fantastic idea.
what do you think about what does everybody think about the distribution?
I think you're on with the school committee, the superintendent, and the mayor.
yeah.
And the council should be,
I
send
was
it
just gonna say the council should-
send it to the manager's office. so they can
Manager's
disseminate it
office
that way,
also.
And the other issue is, there'd be three people the three named people. I mean, there's also the choir itself, but the three named people, the choir is named, obviously, but the three named people are the principal and the prior and current director. The other question is, if you want to put the thing together, have the chairman sign it and invite them to a meeting to present it, so.
Be great.
Yeah,
I mean, we
sure.
have an hour to do this stuff. I think it's great. So let's do it. Make a motion that we incorporate this, we call it proclamation or recognition,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, because
Give a
they do a lot for the veterans, so it's a great,
Yeah.
they should be recognized.
I will send out one more copy to everybody of the resolution. I think most everybody should have one. So if anybody has any suggestions on the wording or the content, feed it back to me, and then maybe I can work with Eric and just getting it into the right kind of paper and so forth.
If I don't have a template, I'll obtain one.
Okay?
Okay, so I got a second. If I can get a second.
I'll second that.
Second, Mike Peasley. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Hearing none, so moved. Next item, 5-finger death punch.
Yeah, what
That
is
is,
it?
that is just an FYI. At the last Veterans Council, Veterans Day which was held at the Sanger Center this year, they showed a video. And I thought it was a kind of a powerful video. And I asked Matt Elkins where he got it and what it was. And it's a video by a heavy metal group called 5-Finger Death Punch.
All veterans.
What?
All veterans.
Yep,
It's an all veteran.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
They played veterans in the video, and I thought
Yeah,
they...
and it's an all veteran group.
And I
Yeah.
thought they were pretty convincing
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
did it, and that explains why. But it's on YouTube. It's the 5-Finger Death Punch. It's called The Wrong Side of Heaven. It's about a 5-minute video.
It's good.
And it focuses on the plight of PTSD and the plight of veterans. And I thought it was well done.
Yeah, I agree, and again, if we had that website up, that'd be something we could feature on the website as PTSD awareness and whatnot. So that's, again, to Michael's point, where is it? How can we get it going? Because that would be something that, it is a very, matter of fact, when I saw this on your agenda, I used that amazing tool called Google, and it came right up, and I saw that video, and it was very, very powerful. So I agree. That's good information out there, and people ought to check them out because they are an all-veteran group. I believe they play a lot for the armed forces as well, and they are heavy metal. So just those watching, beware. It's not Frank Sinatra. It's they're pretty good, but they are good and they have a powerful message. So I was impressed with that. Any other new business, Bill?
I know that John, you and Norm and Eric and Mike go to a lot of veterans functions.
Mm-hmm.
Jay and I have gone to the Pearl Harbor Day, we've gone to the November 11th function, and Matt Elkins has gone out of his way to invite us to those events, and we've gone. But it's very important that the Veterans Council members go to these functions,
Yeah, I don't recall getting a notice on any of those.
because they go out of their way to promote Veterans Council. And
How are you getting the information on it?
I had gone last year. I don't know how I got notified last year. This year, because of going last year, I knew that I knew that it was likely to be scheduled. I couldn't find a thing on it. Bill had mentioned it at the last meeting, and I eventually called Matt Elkins to check on the time. So
I mean, the only way I knew about these things with the Veterans Council in the past was when I was on the radio, and they'd call in and they'd say, "Hey, would you mention it?" So I'd know what was going on. But I don't get an email. Do you get an email, Eric? Your office? Is it maybe something you could send out to us when you get it, if you think of it? Just
Few
because
years,
I
few
don't,
years
do you
back,
get
we
it?
used to get it all the time. And remember way back, Eric?
Yeah,
we used
because
to
I'd
get-
like to go.
And we don't
Yeah.
get any of that
I'd like to
information.
go.
Because especially the Pearl Harbor ceremony, it's an hour.
Yeah.
Is that through the VA?
Very nice.
Does the VA put that up? Does the VA put that? I thought I read something that the VA.
It's a little veterans.
Low veterans.
Yeah, I don't know where they're posting their stuff,
I
whether
used
it's
to
an
be-
email broadcast or what, but the answer is we'd like to go.
I used to be part of that. I used to go to all those events, and I used to do a firing with the honor guard. Back then, we had 21 people on our honor guard, but now we're down to 0.
You know, back to the website, you know, if we knew things were going on and we had a website, we could post these activities, and I know, only because Michael and I are Facebook users, I know when he's got stuff going on, he knows when I got stuff going on, and we don't usually see each other a lot because we're going to different events, there's so many of them, but that doesn't mean that, you know, that we wouldn't like to be aware of them, and I think if there was a central point that we knew a calendar on the website of here are events, not only could we know, but all the veterans, I'm sure there's a lot of veterans that don't know. There are a lot of veterans that Eric signed up through the ID program that might not know. So I know the whole idea was to gather names for the ID program, email addresses, gather them and send them out regular communications on what was going on. So
I'll try to
maybe an
look.
initiative moving forward.
I'll try to look. I used to have a list when I was running the honor guard of all the events. We had a list of like 14 different events that we used to do. And I had them all listed, and I'd have to make plans because some of the events were 3 in the same day. I'll see if I can find that list and bring it in, and that gives you an idea when they are. I believe you went to quite a few of them, right, Mike?
I did, yes. I was going to say, a lot of that is distributed by email. If you're comfortable with sharing your addresses, I can have them add you to the email list. And they're presently in the process of updating the Facebook page for the Veterans Council, so I know that a lot more stuff's going to be posted on there in the future as well.
Well, that's good.
That would be great.
That's positive, because the more that we can do that would be great. And if they have a Facebook page now?
Yeah, there is one. I don't know what the use has been in the past, but I know there's an attempt right now to
I think that's
to address
great.
that. And
Yeah.
and a lot of the notifications go out via email and newsletter, and I'll have them add you
Yeah,
to that.
I'd love to go to these things. I did, like, for instance, I know every year they have a breakfast, and I had stuff going on Veterans Day. I had 3 or 4 different things I was going to.
Oh, I used
Yeah,
to,
but, you know, I mean,
I used to have to cancel some of them because I had like
Yeah.
4 or 5 in the same, all within the same time frame. So
but it's also nice to send a
possible.
note. I know you're having a veterans breakfast. I can't make it. I just wanted you to know I was thinking of you, you know.
Yes.
I've been to that in the past.
I've never been to that
I
one.
thought it was good. I'm not sure, I didn't like the location as well, as so it was sort of hard to see in the back. It was sort of hard to see if you were in the back corner. But I think the event itself was very good.
Yeah.
There was a retired Air Force major, an Armenian fellow from the Armenian Vets Council.
Yep.
He flew over Afghanistan and he presented Congressman Saunders with the flag that he had, that he took with him in his last flight over Afghanistan. He presented it to her. So it was very touching.
Nice.
And that video that Jay mentioned about, my fingers, it was a nice function, but it was too small a room for the amount of people that were there. And the breakfast was fantastic.
Did they have bacon? Yes. Oh, see, I'm jealous. I said, did they have bacon? Good, excellent. Well, like I said, maybe if we can try to, I keep looking at Eric. Eric's got enough to do, but if we can start getting our arms around some of these. Oh, I know. I was all over the place. I was all over the state. So, and I know Michael, from your Facebook, with the Your group, geez, you're everywhere.
But just
So,
one more thing, Eric, if you need help, if you get overwhelmed with this and you need me to do legwork on anything,
I think I have a pretty good idea how I'd like it to go, but it's going to be on the website, and I'm not sure how to do that. There's a helper over at the senior center that is savvy with the new website, and I'm going to see if I can sit with her for a day, maybe get I don't know if you can get another page off of my website. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a website developer, but I do believe you can do that, and then I can add a calendar or in different events. And I know you can add things that just disappear over time after the date. I just need to.
right.
I've
Even to start with, if we could get an email, just an email to all of us that
Yeah.
hey, just letting you know, here's some functions that you need to be aware of. I know you don't always get it, but I'm saying if you're aware, if you could just think of us and send us an email just to our group, just to let us know, because like I said, it's weird how you find out about things. And you usually, when you find out about them, they're last minute. And if it's last minute, it's 50-50, and usually it's 90-10 that you can't go. But, so anyway, any other new business?
Just to add, Eric, I can certainly make myself available to help you with that as well. I won't say I'm like, overly savvy, but I'm,
Savvy enough.
I can, savvy enough.
I will take all the help I can get.
Okay, absolutely. I can
Right.
work with you and sit with the person that you know there, so I can help with that, certainly.
Fantastic. See,
That's
that's what
great.
that's all about. We going to communications?
yeah,
All right, I guess I got one thing I wanted to say, and I think it's fantastic for the commission, and I wanted to welcome our newest member to the Veterans Commission, Michael Peasley. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Excited for the stuff that, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and some of the things that you've been involved with, and so the people in general public know who you are. And
Well, I think everybody knows, most people here in the room anyway know who I am. I'm a Lowell resident, a lifelong Lowell resident. I grew up in Centerville and I live up in the Highlands now because there's a bridge and I didn't want to cross it every day. I was retired from the state after 20 plus years of service and 26 and a half years with the Air Force in just about all the components, active, guard, reserve, did it all. I was a B-52 navigator, and now I'm just flying corporate stuff. And as everybody knows, I'm very involved in the Nam Knights Motorcycle Club, which is a veterans advocate group based here in Merrimack Valley. I'm the president, and seem to be going every direction at once. So.
no, that's great. Thank
great,
you.
thank you.
Thank you for your service, and good choice of branch. See, another Air Force guy. See,
Just
smart
talking-
guys, smart
just
guys.
Talking about events,
Yeah.
Mike's group does a great job turning out
unbelievable.
turning out at veterans events. And
Yeah,
Thanks, we appreciate that.
Great. So,
We're very subtle too, so you had to know we were there.
no, it's good stuff. Anyone have any other communications?
questions?
Questions, concern? Well, I would say that one thing we want to communicate to the people that are here, and certainly the people that are watching, is to have happy holidays of the second night of Hanukkah, and Christmas is in another week or so. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody, and
Everybody be safe.
yeah, please be safe.
If I
So,
could, John.
any questions, answers?
If I could, just want to remind everybody that every Friday between 8 and 9:30, myself and members of the VA hold a Veterans Coffee Social over at the Senior Center. It's a good place to just get together, talk. A lot of people, they're learning about different benefits that may be available to them.
When is it again?
Every Friday at the Senior Center between 8 and 9:30.
9:30 in the morning. This is not a nighttime activity.
It's a coffee social.
Also, I'd like to, one other thing, I don't know if you people are aware, but the Lowell VA has a pizza party. I believe it's every third Tuesday of the month. And it's at the, what is it, the VSO room, is that what it's called? I can't think of the
Never
name. of it.
been. I've
But
never
it's at the Lowell VA. They take all the veterans from Bedford and they give them pizza
VCCC.
parties. NAM nights, usually, you guys are usually there, right? Or you send somebody there?
Yeah, we send some, we also sponsor the first Tuesday of the month. We do the exact same thing.
Okay, so they do it the first Tuesday, somebody does it the second Wednesday or something like that. I forget how it works, but I've been there numerous times volunteering, but unfortunately, I missed the last 4 or 5 due to illness, so.
One other thing I wanted to just say is it's a tough time of year for veterans and PTSD. We don't do enough research for it. We know that it exists. There's no cure. And just as of this week, somebody who I'm or had been associated with committed suicide. And the number is 800-273-8255, press 1. That's 800-273-8255, press 1. That's the suicide hotline for through the VA. And I just encourage people to use it before they make a final decision on anything. This is happening all too often. It happens 22 veterans a day, they say, and for the life of me, I can't understand why we allow this as a country to go on. There were 22 people a day dying of the flu or some other disease, we'd be all over it. But we're losing 22 of our best every single day, and I think that that's a crisis. So I just take this opportunity to mention that there are resources available in your community. We have the Lowell Vet Center here in our community that does an awful lot of good work that can help veterans. They just need to know that the services exist. So holidays are tough for an awful lot of people, and just wanted to make people aware to look for signs of people that their loved ones who aren't having a good time, that maybe there's something more to it. So you never know who it's going to be. It could be somebody you know very, very well. And unfortunately, it does happen. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, if they need any help, they can always contact us and we'll steer them the right way.
So, anything else?
Any more questions? Well, the next meeting will be January 17th.
Make a motion to adjourn. A second?
So moved.
So moved.